For the last few weeks on this channel, we have been on and off taking a look at Batman Arkham Legacy, the rumored Batman Arkham game coming from WB Games Montreal, which it is looking more and more likely is going to be announced in some form at the Video Game Awards this year, actually on December 12th, which is in just a few days now. So we're still hoping for that, hoping and praying, and we've got more content coming out now. I promised you that I would look at 5 different suits or skins that I would want to see show up in Batman Arkham Legacy, since the Bat family is rumored to be heavily featured and playable in the game by different leakers such as Sabi or Sabi, I never know how to pronounce her name, and obviously other YouTubers like Slickmoth who have inside sources, and even Batman Arkham Videos has sort of hinted at knowing about some stuff about this, at least on Twitter. So we are going to take a look today again at the supposed Batman Arkham game that I think will be released, and 5 skins that I would really want to see for Jason Todd's Red Hood in the game. The first skin we're going to take a look at is one of my favorite looks for Jason, and that is his New 52 and original Rebirth look. Now, this started out in the New 52 way back. It sort of stuck with him for years and years and years. It followed him into Rebirth until eventually it would be replaced by a different look, but it's sort of a mixture of the classic Red Hood look from Under the Red Hood and a updated design that incorporates a connection to the Bat family. He has a Bat logo on his chest, which is red, which I think is really cool and sort of signifies a little bit of a rebirth for the character. He's not a straight up villain anymore. He's more of an anti-hero now. And he is very interesting in this incarnation. It's actually one of the first things I read after enjoying the Under the Red Hood movie. So I definitely have a little bit of nostalgia for this one, but I love the way that his mask is actually textured. There are lines running through it, and it had a lot of gadgetry involved in it in the comics. He has red sleeves basically under or on top of the leather jacket that he wears, and a full armor like torso chest piece that has that Bat emblem on it, along with some tactical equipment, tactical pants and boots, etc. It's just a very good all-around look for the character, and I think it really encapsulates that era of Jason Todd. The second costume I wanted to take a look at is the evil Red Hood. Now, that's what he's been dubbed. He's not really fully evil. He's still more of an anti-hero in this continuity, but this is back pre-Flashpoint, back in the original Battle for the Cowl, an heir who was going to be the heir to the cowl, and this was back right after that. That's when Jason Todd ended up teaming up with Scarlet, a former Dollatron of Professor Pig, to become an anti-hero when he wasn't able to take over the Batman mantle. Now he has a red skull on his chest. It's essentially a full silver or gray bodysuit with what looks like a Batman cape that flows all the way over his back. He uses red pistols, has an original Red Hood, as in like it's more of a dome than a Red Hood mask. I always thought this was a unique look, and even if I'm not the hugest fan of this era of the character, I think it has its own personality and is definitely unique enough to stand out in the game as sort of a unique take on the character that people can play around with in challenge maps or in the overworld, etc., and just enjoy their time with a different cosmetic choice. The third skin we're going to take a look at is the original Batman Under the Red Hood comic skin for the character. Now, I do really like his skin, or his costume, I guess, in the Under the Red Hood animated film, but a lot of times it's much more of a mixture between this and the New 52 version. So I kind of would prefer to see this, since it just sort of stands on its own. There are no connections really to the Bat family on this outfit. There's no Bat symbol, nothing like that. It's very simple. We've got tactical pants, tactical boots, sort of a tactical weave chest piece, torso piece, and a black overcoat along with grayish white gloves. And then you have the classic Red Hood mask. It has sort of lines and textures running through it that are different than the other versions. So again, I think it stands out on its own. but it's also simple enough that its inclusion in the game shouldn't be a lot of work. It essentially could actually just be a reskin of the New 52 model. So I think that it would be easy to incorporate in the game, and it's a nostalgic point for a lot of people. This is where most readers first encountered Red Hood, and if not in the book, they encountered him in the movie where he looks very similar, and then probably went on to check out the book like I did, and a lot of people did. The fourth skin we have is a controversial pick. Ooh, I love controversial things. This is actually Red Hoodie. Now, this is what it's called by a lot of fans. A lot of people did not like this outfit for Red Hood. It's very different. He sort of has this red vest hoodie on with, it's not even fully a bat anymore, but it's sort of a bat Red Hood symbol on his chest. And he carries around a crowbar a lot of the times, which is very edgy, very Jason. I definitely like that. He has a black undershirt, sort of these cargo pants now, and this is when he is on the run from Batman and the Bat family in a specific storyline. So this is a very different take on the character. His mask is much more akin to a hockey mask or like a Jason Voorhees mask almost than the classic Red Hood take that we've seen before. Now, I always called this like the Sub-Zero Red Hood. I mean, he just looks like he was designed by NetherRealm to me. Like they were like, oh man, we need to like reboot this character's look. Make him look like Sub-Zero and Scorpion kind of mixed into one. Okay, got it. Now, I like this look. I think that it's not his strongest for sure, but it's unique. I mean, you can't point to a lot of other Red Hood looks that look like this. And I think that that's something important when picking out cosmetics for any game, is that you sort of make sure that you have enough unique cosmetic things that players can pick so that it actually feels like there is player agency and choice. And I think this would definitely lend to that, especially with how edgy it is. I mean, this would be very popular among some people, not among others, but it's an option there if you want it. The final outfit that I would love to see for Jason is the one that would probably be my favorite pick. I would absolutely kill to play as this skin, if you get my pun. That is the Battle for the Cowl Batman skin. Now, wait a minute, Jay. What are you doing? Why is Batman on this list? Jason Todd isn't Batman. Well, that's where you're wrong. For a time, he was. He was trying to take over the Batman mantle and became a lethal enforcer with the Batman mantle. Now, why would this not be on a Batman skins list? That is a fair question, I think. And I'm talking to the voices in my head and vocalizing it for you. The answer to that is that this skin would not work as a Batman skin, really, if you are keeping gameplay mechanics intact. Because this version of Batman uses his twin pistols all the time. And you're not going to just go into Batman, select that, and then be using the character moves of Jason under the Batman character. If you understand what I'm saying that in order to keep the core aspect of the gunplay of this character intact, this would need to be a Red Hood skin. And I also think that it really fits in that way. I try to have, if it's a mantle skin, so like if it was Azrael as Batman, I try to have that be under Batman skins, but not when it affects core gameplay like this would. I love this skin though to death, and this outfit. I think that it's really cool. He has sort of a metal plate on over his mouth, so his mouth is not exposed. There is not that weakness in the armor. He's much more armored actually than the normal Batman looks like he is. His utility belt is insane. I mean, he's got different types of grenades on that thing. It's just crazy. And he's just a total all-out armored lethal version of Batman. If you mixed the core of the Punisher character's design into the core of the Batman character design, this is what you have, and that's why I love it, and I think it would fit so well with Jason in the game, even if it was just for looks only, and it didn't play at all into the story or anything. I think this would be an amazing way to sort of put a cherry on top of the frosting that would be the Red Hood costumes. So hey, these are my costume choices for Red Hood in the next game. I gotta be honest with you, I did have a hard time finding some of these, and some of you had pointed that out in the comments, like, well, Red Hood doesn't have nearly as varying of a character design as some of the Bat family. And you're totally right. I think part of that is they stuck with the same look for like almost 10 years with the New 52, so there are not a lot of variations for this character, but I did my best to pick out the unique ones, and I hope you enjoyed and agree with the list. But hey, if you don't, let me know in the comments down below. What are some outfits that you would pick for Red Hood? I'm sure you guys have some good ideas. You always leave them there, and I'm like, oh, I wish I had thought of that. And what other characters would you like to see costumes for? I was actually thinking about still doing one for Azrael, and the only hesitation I had is if you consider him part of the Bat family. I don't know if we do, but with the whole storyline with Michael Azrael in Night, it seems likely that he would return, so I'm definitely still probably going to do that one. Let me know what else you'd like to see on the channel. I love having all of you, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a fantastic day, and stay awesome.